Premix fuel is a combination of petrol and oil, specially formulated for outboard motors, the mechanical driving force behind the canoes of indigenous fishers in Ghana. A heavily subsidized product by the government of Ghana, it was meant to ensure the timely availability of fuel to fishers at an affordable price. This type of fuel was also meant to empower fisher groups to run its sales points at the landing beaches and apply the proceeds to the development of their communities and themselves. Unfortunately, this blessing more or less turned out to be a curse in more ways than one. It was bedeviled by uncontrollable corruption, rampant diversion, and acute shortages, leading to a general dissatisfaction among fishers, particularly with the mode of sale of the product. On assumption of office on the back of the Better Ghana mantra, the Atta Mills administration resolved to restore this blessing to the fishers. The National Premix Committee was quickly reorganized to oversee the administration of the fuel.
We want to cut out corruption from the supply of premix as much as possible.
To forestall diversion of the product, it was given a unique color and introduced to the fishers. Landing beach committees, or LBCs, were formed and launched around the lake and coastal areas of the country with clear guidelines and authority.
Secretary ni attendant no omomunka committee no omre ye edwumayefo a committee be fa ho no o tua won but profit no is for the community. Say dana mo be show say afasha na mo be yo say t-shirt na mo be to na mo pese mo dey bia no a be ma oma no nkoso be ba no say ha na mo be proper ma ase ayi nita ni nyina sika no oma ne dia oma ne be twi ne e fe so bibia ese obia shine eyes say ba sika no.
They reserve the right to choose the oil marketing company they want to work with and inform the National Premix Committee.
If, let's say, they decide to use oil, when they write to us, we would inform Goyle that this community, let's say, let me mention the name, Abotwase, would want to work with you. So whatever, we will make the order from this office to Tema Oil Refinery. For Tema Oil Refinery to also load the Goyle truck that is supposed to send it to the Abotwase. Now once it gets there, it's either the chief fisherman or the secretary or any member of the committee that will receive the product.
The LBCs have been trained to ascertain whether or not the premix due them is what has been delivered after the order has been made. They will reject it if there is a shortfall. Otherwise, they proceed to sell it to the fishermen. The National Premix Committee decided that part of the profit from the sale of the premix be given to the committee members to prevent them from engaging in untoward practices. 12% is for the chief fisherman and chairman, 18% goes to the other members of the committee, 10% goes for the payment of salary of the hired secretary, and 7% for the pump attendant. These come up to 47%.
The remaining 53% is for the community. That is what they are supposed to use for development. It is not for any individual, it is not for the committee members, it's not for the district chief executive, it's not for anybody, it's for the whole community, fishing community.
Tema Fishing Harbour, one of the busiest in the country. To service the community best, the LBC decided to find ways of maximizing profit from the sale of premix to accelerate the pace of development in the not-too-distant future. Instead of relying on the services of oil marketing companies, the fishing community decided to purchase their own fuel tanker. This has proven to be a very wise decision as Premix is available regularly. Michael Tete drives the Premix fuel tanker.
Tasha so many years. When ne and this eba power ne inake Temalandi beach be committee amehe Rory. Amemba ache me ake mba ni ba drive. Lele oni ba mololi me 1.5 year ne. Nichumo no wo tun nake nichumo ye regular. Wo ya wo ba every week mba be 3 times in the week. I'm a pure me. All right. Now, the
LBC is making a fortune from the sale of Premix. It has in its account money in excess of 100,000 Ghana cedis and has already decided on the next big thing to do for fishermen in the community.
1 billion. The cash. No one to know what I can you malay 1 billion? She enjoy more than nothing get here. She want to get ya kono ka wawo le ayaga ya be no wa yo ya ye ekome ya bi o shi
ni bi ni gba wo la na to ma head hu ko ba bo he body ni wo share ko ne ba ni wo ho ni wo ke ha wo la bi
and this government ne ba ne ke petrol ne gbeja no to ba ha wo la bi na se pi ni tun ake am ken fe ni bi ya me sho ana ni le ken shika ni job ne aken kwe wo la bi ka me bi ni ya school fe lo won da government e sha ke le ken gbeja to ne ke ba ne o mo mi wa ni wo he wo ya ke West Africa vote ahanle they win e o he wo ya ke le ken gbeja no to ne ba kan shila kan no.
When profit from the sale of Premix fuel at Lower Pram started streaming in, the London Beach Committee, LBC, consulted with the fishermen and they agreed that for now, 3 areas of development at the beach were important. They were in respect of security and sanitation.
Light, nenge wonya koni wala to heavy. Premix o jwajo mi no isenamio no wana no wakeche light ke ba wonya. Koni fese wa be zanzi he. Wa pez wa nye wa ma zanzi keje Premix o jwajo mi no. E pi oton no wange ti afima 36 seater. WC wange ma e pe bono agbenya.
Sanitation is also a major concern for Upper Pram, so the LBC there is funding the construction of a water closet facility for the community. At Way in the Volta region, the LBC and the fisher folk in general are environmentally minded. To protect the beach and the town in general against the choppy waves of the Atlantic Ocean is a high priority. Hundreds of coconut seedlings have been planted in that regard.
Assembly na kpere ado na chiao. Yake le doji mai ya abale ke jiru so le mana mi mi oto mi zagba. Aji na chi akpeve bladre voton akokpere na chiao nchi alave odo vehicle ve ya. Mi ha mi gbo jizo pogele fota ve ne ve ndokuto fu amia no na chiote.
Another project of importance to the LBC at Way is multi-purpose sheds on the beach. The aim is to provide places of relaxation for the fisher folk, especially their wives, against the burning rays of the sun as they wait for the men to return from fishing. The sheds will also have stores attached to provide some of their immediate needs at the beach. 2 have already been constructed and more have been planned. They are grateful to President Atta Mills for introducing the LBC concept. For the LBC and the fishing community at Agaveji, also in the Volta region, security is a priority. So they have funded the installation of street lights